Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. We appreciate you tuning in. So this morning we got a brand new 2023 Cimarron Lonestar stock combo sitting behind me. Now, unfortunately, this trailer is sold, but we do have some others like it on order that will be coming here in the next few months. So if this is something you're interested in, we do have more coming that you can put your name on. So before we get into this, let's go ahead and take a look at the drawing and I'll show you the layout and give you some dimensions of this trailer here. So this is a stock combo, so we have that front dressing room. It is a 3.5 foot short wall on this one with a 4 foot offset. It's 20 foot on the floor. It is 6'10" wide, that is Cimarron standard width, and 7'1" tall, Cimarron standard height. Now, as we walk through this, we're going to point out a couple things. There's a lot of standard options on this, but we've always gone in and added a few things to it that we feel really just benefit you as the customer, really making the trailer function a little bit better for you. So let's walk through this and take a look. First and foremost, Cimarron's all aluminum construction. We'll talk about the strength and the engineering that goes behind these trailers as we walk through it. You're looking at an 8-year structure warranty and a 3-year hardware warranty on this trailer. You'll also get a 1-year no questions asked warranty on the tires. That's through the vendor that Cimarron uses, not directly through Cimarron, but through Lion's Head. And then you have 2 years of roadside assistance with those tires as well. So they really stand behind the product itself. But underneath the gooseneck here, nothing too crazy. We have a single leg Bulldog manual crank jack. Spare tires located to the left. It is an aluminum spare tire. We'll talk a little bit more about those when we get into the axle part of the trailer and showing you those. One thing I do want to talk about as we're looking at this area is this gooseneck drop wall. So what we're noticing is over the last few years we've had a lot of new trucks show up to purchase new trailers, and the industry standard over the years has been 50 inches. Well, our truck beds and that clearance has gotten a lot more difficult because they've made the trucks taller. Fords and Dodges have been kind of very common of that the last few years, and then all GM products. So the new Chevy body style, the new GMC body style, their truck beds are about 2.5 inches taller than the previous body style. So that creates challenges when we're trying to get these trailers to run level and have bed clearance. So what we've gone in and done on these right here is we've made these 53-inch gooseneck drop walls. Now it does eat 3 inches into your gooseneck, but by doing that, now we can make sure this trailer is running level, adequate weight distribution on both those axles, and also have bed clearance. On these using trailers, we strive for a minimum of 6.5, but I really like about 8 to 8.5 inches. So if I can put my pinky on the bed, I can barely just graze the bottom of the gooseneck. That's what we're looking for. Because listen, I'm not going to tell you that you're never going to get into your bed and damage it, but the chances of that are now drastically reduced by doing that little step right there. Now it is a case-by-case basis. If we're dealing with taller wheels and tires like our 17.5s, our 19.5s, if you're blocking an axle, if you're running air ride, then it changes things to where then we can keep it at a 50. But in this instance, we went ahead and did a 53 on these using trailers. Now this is a slant wall front tack room. By doing that, we have this long wall over on this side of the trailer. We can create a bigger door, so a 42-inch wide door, which when it's all said and done, then we can go ahead and give you the swing out saddle rack. Now what I want you to notice is these 42-inch wide doors, there's still a path for you to walk through even when the saddle rack is out and you have saddles sitting on it. But the big thing is when we go ahead and move it in, we don't have a real tight area where we're going to be dragging saddles against the door frame. Typically, their standard width tack doors are 32, and then 36 inches is another option. And if you imagine that, even at 36 inches, that's still getting really tight. So we like these 42-inch wide doors for the swing out saddle racks. That's why you see that. But by doing this, as you can see, you got a 4-tier saddle rack post here. These are adjustable. You can remove them. You can move them up, down, whatever you need to from that standpoint. So as we get into this tack room, there's just a few options here that just really help the way this trailer flows. One of the very first things is I like the windows up in the gooseneck. You can see out, you can create a cross breeze. You won't get as claustrophobic. It'll keep you nice and cool by having that cross breeze. You also have a window in the door, so you can create some airflow throughout here. Over to the left, you'll notice this tray. That's going to store plexiglass. I'll show you that when we get to the back, but that's where you can actually put those pieces and keep them all together. You've got a shelf with a clothes rod underneath it, so you can, hang some clothes from it. This is a nice stout, deep, 18-inch deep shelf. It does have a lip on there, so it'll hold items from shifting off. One of the other things we like to option into these is the AC framing. Now, you would have to add a 30 amp breaker package, but believe me, by doing this little step, by framing in, now it makes that process so much simpler and so much cheaper for you. Because if you don't, then down the road, if you wanted to add an air conditioner, you have to actually go ahead and put that bracing in there, which causes a problem when you're heating up, welding that against the insulated roof. So that little step right there really helps when it comes to actually put an air conditioner or even a camper style vent. If you want a hand crank manual vent on these type of trailers, you can do that. It's the same footprint on those as it is an air conditioner. Against the gooseneck drop wall, you've got a boot box. This is a 4 foot. So we keep it kind of towards the left-hand side of this tack room as we're standing in it, away from the door. Just gives that door area a little bit, just a little bit more room, makes it flow a little bit better. But it's great for smaller miscellaneous items, and as you hop up into the gooseneck, you have a nice little step there. You've got bridle hooks. You've got 2 sets, high and low. Carpet behind them, so we don't have our tack actually rubbing against the wall. One is, it does damage to possibly our tack. Also scuffing up the wall. It creates a lot of noise as well. So going ahead and incorporating that carpet behind those is really nice. These are actually aluminum powder coat, so they're really stout. This is a new style that they've actually developed themselves, Cimarron. They've actually widened the hooks from each other a little bit more, made them a lot taller, made them a lot deeper. The old ones were just really hard to really function. I mean, you'd almost have to end up using about 2 hooks to actually hang, a bridle and some reins on it. Behind the saddle rack is actually a 25-gallon corner water tank. We really have liked to add these into our trailers as we order them. We can still add them to about any trailer out there, but boy, it is really nice and really handy to be able to carry some water on board, whether it's from home or as you're traveling home, water from a show or an event or a trailhead, something like that. But if you have horses that really like water from the house, or as you're traveling, as you're dealing with traffic, as you're dealing with long wait lines, possibly to get in and unload as you're checking in at certain things, you've got the ability to have that water on hand for you. There's actually a hose. In my opinion, you do a little ball valve on the end and you can fill up your buckets right outside the tack room, not actually trying to fill them up inside here. Again, then you don't have to haul those buckets in and out of this trailer. You can do it right out here at ground level. Speaking of ground level, as you can see where I'm standing versus the bottom of this door frame, that's a pretty healthy step. By having these fold-up steps incorporated, we really like doing that on about all of our trailers, just for the reason of it makes it so much easier making these transitions in and out. You have a swing out saddle rack, so not to say you're going to be dragging saddles in and out, but there could be times you are, or other items, and it just makes life a lot easier by having those steps. On the tack door, you get a brush tray for your kind of smaller miscellaneous items, your brushes, your fly sprays, any of that type of items, and then a 4-tier blanket pole rack on the door. It's on a gas shock as well, so you can move that in and out. But again, a lot of storage in that front tack room. Not an oversized tack room by any means. I mean, again, we're talking a 3.5 foot short wall, the 4 foot offset. But as you can see, we got a lot of really good functional options in that tack room. Fold up step is really easy to use. It's on a gas shock as well. And then this one here, white is standard as far as the sheeting options on these trailers. We opted for this trailer in particular, the charcoal metallic. It's a fairly newer color that Cimarron's come out with the last couple of years, but boy, I tell you what, it's been really popular. It works really well with the color options you see on a lot of trucks today. In my opinion, it's, you know, the black trailers will show dirt and grime a little bit more. This one here kind of hides it a little bit better than even those, and if you want a different color than white, this has again become such a popular option here. So we touched on it up front with the actual plexiglass storage tray, but as you can see, we got 2 air gaps all the way around this stock area, plexiglass inserts. The track is actually built into every single Cimarron, so it's already there when you're looking at the stock trailer options themselves. But boy, it is sure handy to have if you want to seal that trailer up a little bit more. If you want to open it up and get more airflow, it's really easy to remove. I'm a big advocate of this. If you want to save a lot of just stress and hassle and time, when you remove this lower air gap and that upper air gap and all the way around this trailer, one thing to keep in that front tack room is a roll of masking tape and a Sharpie. I cannot stress this enough for you. It will save you a lot of headache. When you remove the lower air gap, tape it together and write lower air gap. Same for the upper, same for the other side, same for the rear. It just saves you so much time. You know exactly where those pieces to go. It's like a puzzle. So we have this long wall, short wall, even in the stall area. So our plexiglass pieces are different, and so are the air gaps. So just believe me, it helps immensely by doing that. You've got a couple tie rings out here. Tie rings can be added. If you want more, on every upright post, we can go in and add more for you. There is a 16-inch awning light on each side of this trailer, and then there's an awning light at the back. It's actually an 8-inch, but you have light coverage. They're all on individual switches, so you can run each side of the trailer, the stall area that we'll show you, and then the back. You have 2 6,000-pound Dexter rubber torsion axles. These are 10-ply tires, Goodyears, 16-inch wheels. They're nitrogen filled, they're balanced. Like I mentioned, you have a 1-year no questions asked warranty on these tires. If you catch a nail, road debris, have a blowout, anything along those lines in the first year, you can send in the information to Lion's Head and they'll replace it at no extra cost to you. Cimarron comes with a bolt-on fender, so you know, again, labor costs there. If you have to replace one of these, it's a lot simpler, a lot cheaper option than the weld-on, because you have to cut the weld-ons off and then re-weld them onto the trailer itself. Now, as we get to the stall area here, as you can see, we got a single gate. It's got 2 air gaps up high. You'll also notice the kick mat on the back door. This trailer here, you get the kick mat on the door, you get the kick mat on hip side, and then the kick mat on the partition wall. That is standard on this setup that we're looking at right here. There's that 8-inch awning light at the back. So again, you have a light back here. Again, everything's on an individual switch. Each side, the back, and then the stall area itself. Now, as we get into this stall area, we do have a center gate that I'll shut here in a minute for you. But this very first stall is 6'6". And the reason why 6'6" is that is equivalent to our slant load Cimarron trailers, 2 stalls. So this first one here, in my opinion, I mean, obviously depending on horse size, but you know, most ranch horses, quarter horses, you know, you could probably get 2 of them in here even saddled, and they're comfortable as far as the size of that stall goes. But these stock combos are great from the standpoint of, again, you can haul horses, you can haul livestock, you can haul toys in this. There's a lot of versatility to these trailers themselves. There's 2 stall LEDs. These are the big OptiBright. We really like going with these lights. We try to incorporate these on all of our inventory trailers as best we can. We're big fans of those lights. They put out a lot. They don't have a lot of power draw, but again, we're a big fan of those. So let's talk a little bit about the structure of this trailer. So what we're standing on is an all aluminum floor. It's a 12-inch deck piece. It locks in high and low, tongue and groove, but you're on 4-inch centers. So wherever you have a horse, any type of livestock really. I mean, obviously our smaller animals, not so much, but you throw some roping steers or something like that in there, they're standing on a support beam wherever they're standing on this floor. It's really stout, it's really strong. It's the industry's best there is out there. And then you have the strongest upright posts. They're more of a square tube versus a rectangle tube or a C-channel tube you see on most other manufacturers as far as their uprights. The best way I can explain this tube right here and the strength of it is, if you have a 20-foot stick of it, imagine a pencil, one fluid motion. It just does this, to where the ones you see on the roof bow, a 20-foot stick of that will wobble like a noodle. Now they do that on the roof because we're also capping it off with the insulated roof. That's standard on every single Cimarron as well. It's a 1/2 inch thick. It can take about 150 pounds per square foot. So it's really, really strong. We can take substantial hail. Most importantly is it keeps the stall area about 20% cooler than an aluminum sheeted roof. That makes a big difference when we're having these 100+ degree days and you're traveling in the summertime. It's going to keep animals a lot more comfortable, a lot cooler as well. So we have the gate off to the side. It actually has a slam latch up top and a foot for it to rest on. So if you do have it open, it kind of pinches that gate. What we want is we want to get as much bounce out of gates as you can. That's what causes possible cracks and welds. So by Cimarron kind of wedging this in there, it helps this gate, if you do have it open, in transit. But it's got a slam paddle latch here on the door. That's a heavy UHMW paddle itself, so we don't have metal to metal contact. And then we have this cast aluminum piece that's powder coated around it. You'll notice everything has a radius too. When you grab a Cimarron door, you're walking through the stall area, you're not going to notice those 90-degree sharp angles. They try to put a radius on everything. It's all about animal safety. So by having this, we're not going to have that rattle like we would with metal to metal contact, keeping it a lot quieter. Obviously the gate matches the slant of that partition wall up front there. But again, this is basically a footprint of a 4-horse. So, really if you open this up, you can probably squeeze another horse on here. But a really good setup as far as the stall area goes itself. In fact, one of the other things is you get this tie rail in between the two air gaps. You have the post to tie to if the plexiglass is out of this trailer. When the plexiglass is in, you can't actually put a lead rope around these upright posts. So you've got the ability to use this tie rail, and it goes the entire length of this stall area itself as well. Now as we work over to driver's side, same thing. You have your plexiglass. There's an 16-inch awning light up top as well. Again, it matches the one on the other side. 2 tie rings. Again, you could add more. And then at the front of this stall is an escape door. And since we did this escape door, we went ahead and put a chest bar over that opening. So if you do have to open it and you have somebody loaded in that front compartment, that should deter them somewhat from trying to jump in your lap. But for safety purposes, we went ahead and did that. So you've got access into the stall area. And then again, here's a good look at that charcoal metallic finish on the trailer. I think it works really well with this. I mean, you have the tinted plexiglass on this, a black tire itself, but then you've got the extrusion that matches the aluminum wheels, and then I think that it really ties in well. That's why this color, in my opinion, has just been a hot seller for us, and people really like it. So, unfortunately, like I said, this trailer is sold. However, we do have others on order just like it. So again, you can put your name on those that are coming. We've got, different colors coming. They might even be at a spot where you could even change that. So give us a call. But for reference, I'm going to give you the stock number on this one. Again, it's a 2023 Cimarron Lonestar stock combo 20-footer. Stock number is 5N220670. We do take trade-ins. We do buy trailers. So if you're looking to upgrade, we can do that. Even if you're looking to downsize, maybe you have a big living quarters, You want to trade it in on something like that. You don't need that living quarters. We can do those type of trades as well. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. Our number is 303-684-3400. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.